It's the Catican, baby.
Tonight, the online world waits on edge. Moments ago, a Travis County jury returned a verdict in the closely watched trial of Jared Collins, the Catican-based commentator known for his irreverent posts. He was accused of delivering takes prosecutors said were, quote, too based, too cool, and too funny. Let's go live to downtown Austin.
The tooth fairy.
The tooth guy, actually. Please don't call me that word. You're not my dad. Look, you give me the tooth, I give you the coin, everybody's happy. Deal?
Deal.
Good. Get some sleep, champ.
I went through your iPad, and I'm really concerned. I saw what you've been listening to. The Catican, instead of KSR.
I want to listen to the Catican, Mom. I want to be cool.
Have you talked to your child about the Catican?
Yes.
It's the Catican, baby.
Malachi Moreno. It's the Catican. Kentucky wins a thriller in Baton Rouge. And in an effort to personally trigger our audience, I'm going to say Kentucky's most dramatic comeback in Baton Rouge in program history. Fellas, how we feeling?
Better than I did at halftime. A win's a win. OA, despite being under the weather, ended up with a nice stat line. Aberdeen, despite me thinking you played awfully, ended up with a nice stat line. And Malachi's the hero.
Yeah, I feel stressed. But whenever it's a stress that winds up with like a nice shot of joy at the end, I mean, whatever. I like to go to Six Flags, you know.
I'm so glad we won. I was dooming pretty hard there when it was like, 18 points was the biggest lead. And then it hovered around 8 for like 10 game minutes. And then Otga should be so thankful for Malachi Moreno bailing him out, because that free throw, that was devastating.
Otga Owe, more like Otga Showay. Fellas, he was putting on a show tonight. I'm going to be honest. I thought that the game started at 7:30, so it had already been playing for 10 minutes before I turned it on.
I'll tell you, you didn't miss much.
I think you missed about 8 points.
Yeah, so I turned on to like a horror show, because I was like, especially coming off of that second half against Mississippi State, I was thinking we should be able to handle it. LSU is missing. Is it D-Dan? Whatever. They're missing him, and I was thinking, they just put their coach on the hot seat very publicly today. Everything was kind of swinging our way, and then I turned it on and felt that too familiar feeling that I've been feeling all season long, which is how have we found ourselves in this predicament. And then, the second half came, and I just wish that this team could put two halves of basketball together, but I will take a win. I also take this opportunity. So everybody, thank you for joining the Catican. Please like and subscribe. We are on the quest for 1,000 subs, and we got some big things in the work. So I guess my question is not even just what I missed, but just what the hell happened in the first half, and why were we getting spanked like that?
I have a take that's pretty strong. I think our roster is actually pretty good. I think the coaching is bad. And the first half shows it every time. Then they react in the second half. And then the last minute, I didn't really like any of the decisions that they made. But Malachi just had an all-time Kentucky basketball moment as a freshman on the road in the SEC. And that's just the magic of college basketball, I guess. But still need better from Mark Pope, because if there was a least valuable player, it would be maybe Brandon Garrison.
EG.
But Mark Pope. We hit threes, but we only ended up getting to shoot 19, right? 23. And it's like, where has Yelovich been this entire time? Because he looked like an all-star. And why haven't we tried to warm start Jasper into more minutes? Because all we have right now is Aberdeen, and if we have to play Denzel Aberdeen 35 minutes for the rest of the season, we're gonna keep having games like this where it's I don't know. I mean, he can score and he does a lot of good stuff, but I don't think him being your primary initiator of offense is good because you don't ever start the possession until you're 10 seconds into the shot clock.
I mean, that's what happened with the Otga shot that never was, right? Was we kind of just dribbled it around. I'm screaming at my phone. I was watching that portion of my phone, so I'm holding up, screaming for Pope to call a timeout. We still had 2 at that point, and the game was still in flux. If anything, I would have assumed that we were losing the game at that point, and we're just dribbling it around and settle for a long 2, which I don't know, Ben. Like I know you're like super into those, but personally, I don't like them.
Well, it's never a good sign when the commentators say, "Oh my God, I don't know if he knows that the shot clock's running down."
Yeah,
I mean that's not good commentary. That is not the way you want to be playing a possession in a game you've been losing all day long with about a minute and a half to go. No, this is even less than that, isn't it? This is 40 seconds to go. I mean, you don't want the commentators thinking he has no idea what's happening. And that's kind of how it felt. And then I felt some relief as he turned around, got the shot off. I thought it was good. Wasn't. Then I felt terrible. Then I felt good. Then I felt bad. Then I felt great. And it just, I think the big takeaways are I'm happy to have another good Yelovich game. Stacking those is important, especially with his slow start. Agree with Caleb. I want to see more Jasper. Not his night tonight, obviously, but we need him to have better than 0 for 4, no rebounds, no assists, no steals, no blocks. Good thing no turnovers and no fouls, but like we can't do this just on the back of Aberdeen. And another good game from Malachi, 10 and 8. I mean, some hero minutes. I feel like Malachi at times has really struggled to find his role. Struggled to know where he can be effective and helpful, and when to be aggressive and when to be less aggressive. So good on him for playing a ton of the game with 4 fouls, not fouling out, and then coming up when we needed it.
Story of the game, Malachi Moreno. I mean, living out every Kentucky kid's dream. I mean, who doesn't dream of, growing up being, who isn't a kid growing up a Kentucky fan and dreaming of hitting a last-second shot for the win? So always super cool to see the buzzer beater, but knowing who did it and how much it meant to him is
I'll say though, in that dream, you probably aren't expecting it to be against like Ken Palm 75 LSU. You probably think it's going to be like,
oh, it's Duke,
someone better, Yeah, right.
I agree with the Jasper take, because I think if this team is going to be something, if they're going to accomplish what we want them to, which the bar has lowered to now from a national title to let's make some noise. Maybe let's make the second weekend.
Let's make the tournament.
Yeah, you're gonna need Jasper Johnson. You just are.
Yeah, I mean, we are a incredible Malachi Moreno catch and shoot away from probably not making the tournament.
The crown, baby.
So we have to be better. The thing is, though, is like, obviously we can be. We outscored them like 50-30 in the second half. Yeah, we were down by 18 to LSU in the second half. Like, that can't happen. We can't go the first 10 minutes scoring 8 points, hitting 1 field goal. And obviously we are better than that.
Yeah, Eddie
10
said
minutes.
in the comments, how the F do you score 22 in the first half and then 53 in the second with the exact same players? So
it feels like they started running a different offense. They were doing a lot of baseline, like Colin Chandler ran baseline, went through 2 picks, wide open 3. That happened a couple of times. That we started to see second half during the comeback a good semblance of an offense. Finally, I felt like
Colin had a good game too.
Finally,
Yeah.
that pass.
Other than that lob attempt, the lob
lob
attempt was
Nobody
not a good decision, but a worse effort at it. I mean, it wasn't close.
I also like that this team, Chandler bouncy again.
Yeah.
I like to see that they did come back because this team's had adversity. They've had injuries, rumors of chemistry issues, and then they battle back 18 down on the road on a Tuesday. That's great to see a fight from a team that clearly still cares.
Yeah. They don't think.
Yeah, you just need to not be down 18 to LSU on a Tuesday. But great comeback.
It is hard to take. I mean, the 99% of this game was misery. We didn't lead until like 2 minutes left to go or something. And I mean, we win, and like when it comes to Selection Sunday, all of that stuff, we won a quad 1 road game. And it's one that we had to have because Missouri we were supposed to get. And road games in the SEC are obviously hard when you almost get school crushed by the 0-3 LSU. But yeah, I think the whole, how does the same team score 20 points in one half and 50 in the other? That is also like, what is like, that's got to be coaching, right? Like, is there any other thing that could be?
We've seen
it keeps happening too.
Yeah.
We've seen the whole, like, we're gathering data in the first half, which, you know, that maybe that'll work in the first season. It worked for like half of the first season for the fan base. And then it's like, I don't know, man. It kind of just seems like we come out of the gates really, really poorly. It's kind of like in The Office where Michael was telling Jan the reason when he was doing the movie days, saying, oh, they get twice as much work done after. And she says, really? He says, well, yeah, in order to get their work done, they have to work twice as fast. That's almost exactly what position we keep finding ourselves in. And I don't know whether to fault him for falling behind or credit him for making the comeback.
At this point, I feel like the players are making comebacks to overcome in spite of Mark Pope's coaching. It's what it feels like. Because, and then you keep putting, like, I don't know how many. I need to go back and look at the play-by-play. We had a ridiculous amount of substitutions. They did not know what they wanted to do, and obviously Mo Diabate isn't good at basketball. Quit putting him out there. He cannot. He completely destroys the offensive rhythm.
And we talked our last episode about this huge log jam we have at the 4 and the 5, and how we don't have that at the 1 and the 2, especially now with Lowe out for the season, right? We really don't have many options at point guard. So if we have this log jam at the 4 and the 5 and Mo isn't playing well, why does Mo get 12 minutes and Jasper get 8 when, you know, Mo's in the spot that should be competitive? Cam can play the 4. Jelly can play the 4 and did well. You shouldn't, but you could play BG and Malachi together. I mean, there are other options there, and I don't know why, you know, Jasper didn't play well, but neither did Mo, and Mo got 1.5 the minute in a much more contested slot.
Yeah.
With what I missed of the game, when I realized that it was playing and I put it on, the first thing I see is Mo bricking a 3 and then the score. And that'll catch you up real quick on the vibe of the evening.
It's also
I kind of sarcastic. Go ahead.
I just hate if it's soul crushing whenever they just completely they give him 10 feet just to shoot it because they know, and it makes it probably where he's even worse at it psychologically. but it kills me to see that.
Well, the frustrating thing about it is that, Mo's not a good 3-point shooter. He, on very low volume last year, was like 45% somehow, which is kind of hard to imagine. But like what we've seen this year, not a good 3-point shooter. But neither is Tamba for LSU. And so when we give him all that space in the world, what's he do? Makes more in this game than he's made all season. I don't think I think it was 2 for 2. But when you give Mo that space, he doesn't have any of those games where he just lights it up. It's frustrating.
Yeah, I want to see more jelly, some KY jelly, and I want to see Moreno. I want to see him have some more off. He's been doing pretty good at the point forward-ish role. I honestly think that saves Denzel Aberdeen from looking like a complete disaster on those minutes that Malachi's out there. So we need to keep seeing that. And then maybe JQ's knee starts feeling better and we never have to see Mo again. I don't know.
Catching up on some chats here. Hard to say coaching is bad when you get the second half adjustments to pull off a win, overcoming 18-point deficit. Maybe the game plan and scouting was bad, which is coaching, but they overcame.
True.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have beat this team by 20 points, though.
Yeah, it's not a good team.
Why can't they figure out that in the middle of the first half? Why do they need 20-minute break at halftime to just react to what's going on the court?
They have to run some scripts in Python on a laptop when they get
It'd be one thing, too, if we only had 5 good players and they played all 20 minutes of the first half and had 0 opportunities to come to the bench for coaching. But we know that isn't true. They all spend ample time on the bench for better or for worse.
Yeah.
A few months ago, this show in general stepped on a landmine when we had a whole discussion of, is BG a good basketball player and should he be on this team? And that became a lightning rod of discussion for months. Somehow, should Mark Pope be the coach of Kentucky basketball has become that same lightning rod discussion, just looking at the comment section. And I no longer have a strong, and I feel like that says a lot because this, up until a few weeks ago, was a very pro Mark Pope.
I have a Mark Pope jersey on.
Like, I'm rooting for the guy. I'll never root against Kentucky, and I really wanted to work out with Mark Pope. It's just what I'm seeing is not great, and I'm elated that we won, especially with how we won, but also feeling such a sense of relief that I don't have to be mad at Mark Pope tonight when I spent a majority of the evening being very upset with him because I don't know what we're doing in the first half of these games. And for a lot of it, it seems like we just can't stand in front of somebody to play defense, or when I'm seeing loose balls and guys not even go after them, and then we end up giving up a wide open 3 before halftime. It looks like a team that gave up, and then when things started going their way in the second half, bought in again. That doesn't give me a lot of faith in the coach. But I'm happy we won.
We need to take more threes too. I mean,
with this lineup for sure.
And
with Yelovich,
the better lineup, right? Like at this point, I think that it's just I don't need graphics on an iPad to tell me that a team looks worse when we have 2 people that can hit a 3 on the court at the same time. And we obviously have enough people that we do not have to do that. But it will hurt feelings. Because, like, Mo can't play a lot. He's going to have to be you put him in there on the second end of a 1-and-1 so that he'll go get a rebound on a like that. That is what Nate Oates did with him, and that's what Mark Pope should be doing with him. But that's not what's happening, and I think it's to save his feelings.
Well, I think a lot of the time, too, that he played last year, he was the only player on the court that didn't shoot threes pretty well. And you either had a taller person playing the 4 or the 5 that also shot threes, and all their guards shoot threes, and he could hit them wide open. But there was also so much less pressure on him to do that. You weren't relying on him to create spacing. He was just able to be the one non-shooter in there. And if we have Owe going 3 for 6, that helps. And in fairness to Owe, I thought his shot looked better, looked less hitchy, which I think we also said a little bit last episode. And that's great. That's huge improvement. And one of the big reasons I don't think we can play Mo effectively is because we have Owe playing 37 minutes a game. And those two together, if they're not going to shoot, plus Moreno or BG is just a bad lineup. That gives you 2 shooters maybe, and for half the season, one of those was Lowe, who wasn't shooting well.
And Aberdeen is one of our shooters, quote unquote. And he does hit a pretty decent amount of his stuff, and then airballs to the rest of them. It's weird. But yeah, it's just like he is the odd man out, I think, on a loaded front court. And then he can't be. I thought maybe you put Jelly at the 4, him at the 5, whatever. But then if you have any kind of height or length, which you always do in the SEC, to go against when they're playing defense, he just gets shot over. And that happened tonight a lot.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll say that to LSU's credit, I don't think LSU's a great team, and some of this may be our lack of defense. Though we did hold McKinnon to only 2 for 7 from 3, but they shot almost 50%, 9 for 19 from 3. That's tough to do against air. I mean,
they played like a team that had to win this game, who thought that their coach was going to get fired. Like, that's what they played like, especially the first half.
I don't think they're a good team, but I thought our floor stayed as close to our average when we lost our point guard as it seemed to for them.
Right.
Good point. Fire name alert. Gene Diesel says Pope taking out Yelovich when he scored half our points in the first 10 minutes and sitting him for too long is what didn't make sense.
I like that spelling.
Yeah, that was sick. Gene Diesel quickly becoming a favorite of mine, just based on the name and the photo. And I think he makes a good point. I think Pope gets a little bit too busy with the lineups and the substitutions, and some of them don't make sense. Like, you take out Yelovich when he goes on a scoring run, but then when Colin Chandler makes the worst lob attempt I've ever seen in my life, and we go to a TV timeout, and we come back, and Colin Chandler is still out there. What are we doing?
I think that the beginning of last season, when our defense was really struggling, it seemed like one of the culprits was that the analytics said these people are bad shooters, go under screens, let them shoot. And then because they weren't used to being that open, they started making a ton of threes and shot really well, and we had the worst 3-point defense in the country. And Mark Pope said, I'm trying to decide, do I go against the analytics or what? Because they're saying leave them open, but they're... And so I kind of think he has to have that conversation with himself again. I don't care what your analytics are telling you about effective minutes for players or this is how you get the most out. Like, obviously, I think at this point, the lineups and substitution patterns that he has aren't working. Whether that's what the analytics say or not, at some point, use the eye test and look and see who plays well together.
Yeah, I want to go back and look and see. It feels like at least there is a lot more substitution happening in the first half of all of these games. The first half, which we are notoriously shitty at, a lot more of this in, out, no flow. And then the second half, I mean, they played Malachi for the last 12 minutes with 4 fouls because he's good at basketball. I don't know.
Sorry, guys. I was reading the chat. I thought one of you guys was going to pick him up on that.
I don't know. Also, who do coaches usually do the in out like lineup decisions, or do they have an assistant that usually does that?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's probably dependent on coach.
It feels like he should hand that off.
Yeah, but I think the whole word on the street about Pope is that he kind of likes to be in control of all the little things and the details. So I don't think he likes the thought of giving that up. I think that'd be a tough sell. I think you're right though. I mean, the guy he's not hired a GM yet.
Yeah.
I'll say to his credit, I don't know how much more.
To throw it in ChatGPT at the half to figure out how to beat LSU.
Mm-hmm. And there's no Wi-Fi on the court, so they got to wait till half. That's what it is.
I don't know how much more Malachi could have played, though, because he did play a ton in the second half after he picked up 4 fouls.
Yeah.
Plus, if he had accumulated 4, it's not like he was riding pine. I mean, you've got to sit him for some of that, obviously, and he has issues generally with getting gassed as a big guy. And so, I mean, I agree. He obviously the hero of the game. He's been playing really well, but I just don't know how much more you could have really. He played 20 minutes, but
mostly just like the fact that Pope kept him out there for the last 12 minutes, it felt like just completely straight because we had to win this game.
Yeah, like your other options, BG though. I mean,
yeah.
Do you think that Malachi has played well enough that even when JQ comes back, you still start Malachi?
Yeah.
Especially if the knee is going to be a lingering issue. Yeah, that's best for both parties, I feel like.
Yep.
I agree.
And I don't ever want to see Malachi and JQ on the court at the same time.
No, that sounds ugh. It's 2026. We can't be going out there with a too big lineup. He's trying. I think he running like JQ and BG or like Malachi and BG at the same time just a few days ago.
Yep.
I'd feel better about that if BG hit threes like he did in his summer highlight tapes instead of never.
For a little while, how we were shooting, BG being out there was like, hey, we got a floor spacer.
Yeah. He was the only one that hit him for like 3 games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which I think was an indictment on everybody else.
Absolutely.
That's not a good job, BG. That's a bad job, everybody else. He saved our 3-point streak 1 game.
I mean, the jury's still out on his basketball. Okay. But as a person, the best. So, and he's very vibes based. I feel like Mark Pope just doesn't have the vibe radar to know when to just put him in and when not to. Because when's he going to sprint down the court and catch a beautiful lob and tongue wag all the way back up the court? You know, it's vibes based. Mark Pope has no radar for it, and I don't know. I feel like everybody loves BG whenever he only plays like 4 minutes.
Yeah.
And then his Instagram after the game is always lit after he only plays like 4 minutes because he comes out there and he runs his sprints.
Honestly, if BG is happy with those, great. Because I'm also happy when BG gets like 4 minutes.
Was Trent Noah a DNP coach's decision? A healthy
or
scratch?
DNP? Was he? I don't know if he was on the injury report because he had that weird. I don't know if he tweaked his knee or pulled a hammy or
I think
whatever.
he got hit in the nuts.
But if he got hit in the nuts, that probably isn't lingering and probably DNP, coach's decision.
He hasn't played in 2026 yet, which is interesting.
Are we redshirting him?
Is he?
Are we redshirting 4 people?
Redshirting Trent Noah for getting hit in the nuts. It still really hurts, Doc.
So
He's still talking in the high-pitched voice.
Well, so he did play. He came in Mississippi State for like under a minute, but it's DNP, 0 minutes DNP.
Okay, so we burned the red shirt.
Just for him to get
DNP. Anyway, never mind. So, Tennessee on Saturday. We feeling confident about that. It's at Tennessee, so we're playing in Thompson Bowling.
we need to know over that one.
Is it Thompson Bowling or am I dumb?
You're right.
Okay. Nate Ament sucks. I've been seeing Saddam Hussein highlights intermixed with his. They do look vulnerable, and if we win this one, I feel like we kind of get the vibes back on track. Like this isn't like a must-win game for us. I think it's a must-streak stretch for us in order to have us feel good about this basketball team.
If we do win, it goes all of the they might not make the tournament shit kind of goes out the window, I think. But
yeah,
if we lose, I think we're still like alive. I don't know. I think that we can win, but to me it just feels like Nate Ament's going to hit 4 threes or something crazy.
I'm telling myself we can win because St. John's is KenPom 18 and Tennessee's KenPom 19, so we have beaten better teams.
Okay,
it's doable.
How is St. John's KenPom 18?
I thought St. John's was like outright bad.
Yeah.
So we have Tennessee, Texas, and Ole Miss coming up as our next 3. What do you think our record is in those 3 games?
I want 2 wins out of those 3.
Yeah.
Ideally, the one on the road against Tennessee for resume building, but at the very least, defend rub.
If we go 3-0, it's like it is crazy how pivotal like this LSU to Ole Miss stretches. Because eventually we're gonna have to be. I mean, we gotta play Florida. We gotta. I guess the SEC's not really that good this year, huh?
I mean, there aren't many bad teams.
Yeah. Georgia looks pretty good.
Yeah.
When LSU was KenPom 43, Mississippi State KenPom 80. We got 19, 47, and 60 with Tennessee, Texas, and Ole Miss. So definitely some of those should be winnable. I agree. I think 2-1 would go a long way towards helping me feel better about this season. That puts us 1 over 500, I think, in conference at that point, right? Because we're 2-2 now. Yeah. So if we go 2-1, 4-3, I could. That'd be good. I assume we lose to Vandy. Vandy looks like the real deal. Yeah. They follow.
That's a 9:00 game on the road too. That is a tough matchup.
Yeah.
And then Arkansas right after that.
Mm-hmm.
So if we could go 3-0, I feel like we could salvage a little bit of like safely into the tourney and maybe a decent seed out of it.
Hopefully.
If we go 2-1, I think we're still pretty safe. But I don't, because I think that we have some games coming up where we can't expect to win. Especially when you look like this against LSU.
Yeah.
Now, if we got the second half Cats, both halves, we could beat anybody in the SEC.
No doubt.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the second half, let me pull this. I mean, we were great from three. 8 for 11 from three. Second half, 72%. Need that. We were 2 for 12 first half. Came out to a respectable average of 44%. But like that second half was great. Almost in every phase of the game, we were really better in the second half. We had fewer rebounds, but that's okay because we missed a lot fewer shots.
We were scoring junior varsity girls high school basketball numbers in the first half. It was 8 points in like the first 10 minutes.
It was 5 points in the first 10 minutes because I texted someone and said, "Good news, y'all, we're on pace to score 20 in this game." And then I said, "But if we don't," or I think we had 4 maybe at that point. I said, "But if we don't score one more point in the next 30 seconds, then we are no longer on pace to score 20 points in this game." That's not great. That's a bad feeling. I do not like that. It's not fun to watch.
DC Sports 227 says, "Was hoping for the best, but the last thing this fan base needs is another podcast where a bunch of unqualified dudes sit around and second guess a D1 coaching staff." So I guess we should pack it up, fellas. Also, like, what are we supposed to, like, anyone who is qualified to do it would be a D1 coach. So I guess I can't think of any coaches who do shows like this.
I bet if you go watch Field of 68 right now, they're way more harsh.
Right. What are you supposed to say about that first half? Like, well, they tried their best. I trust them. I trust them implicitly. Like,
also, what makes Goodman more qualified to talk on it? It's not like Goodman was a D1 coach or a D1 player. He's just been doing it for longer. Also, Goodman couldn't do what we do here. No.
I'll say it does sound like this is your first time watching our podcast. Thanks for being here. Please like and subscribe.
All right. But don't.
We are the sunshine pumpingest.
Yeah.
People. I'm just saying, you can't take the same players, score 20 points in one half and 50 in the next, and me not call out the fact that the same players had such different outcomes. It makes me think that the factor is coaching, because that's what changed. The lineups changed, and
all right, so
changed.
I mean, Aberdeen 0 points first half, 17 points second half. Cam 0 points first half, 5 points second half. Moreno 3 and 7. I mean, just 6 and 15. Improvement almost across the board.
DC Sports. So, as a fellow, Virginia native, I do gotta say that, Southeast Hampton Roads, Tidewater, clear Nova in the DMV area. Don't bring your weak shit to me, okay? I'd click on your channel and go troll you, but you actually probably don't make anything that people would even bother trolling, because nobody cares what you think. Moving on. Someone said Ben getting people to hate watch. I like it. So
22 points, 53 points. It's so like that. That is collecting data right there, and the data says ding, 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 ding. The coaching sucked in the first half.
Yeah,
not really anything else to say. And if we want to win against really good teams, then we have to play like we did in the second half for both of them.
Who is going on after this game and saying, like, you know what, pretty good performance by Mark Pope tonight? Yeah. No, it's like,
great start to finish.
Yeah, thank you, Malachi Moreno, for bailing us out at the end of it with your beautiful trebuchet shot. That's the story of the game.
Well, actually, that shot looked way better than it usually does. I would like everybody to go back and watch that.
I think it's another example of, if you took the time to take the shot and you normally take and think about it, you miss the clock. You have no time to take that shot, and you have no time to think, and it just comes off naturally.
The last 2 possessions of the game, we gave it to Otga Owe and Malachi Moreno, who both have the longest windup in shots that we have on the team. Like we had a 1.4, I think, what was left on the clock, and we somehow passed it down to Malachi, and he is able to whip it all the way back to his mid back and then launch it somehow
and turn around.
Yeah,
it turned around. He made an amazing catch.
Did we do that? Was that a Leitner play?
Was it the? I was just looking that up. That's hilarious.
It was. Rick Pitino tweeted about it. He said, and there was a big on him.
Yeah.
So he made an amazing catch, bailed him out. But the game when the Mark Pope got his coaching whiteboard out and coached, that play was a Otga Owe dribble drive, which if you go back and watch the last 100 of those possessions, he rarely hits those shots.
Yeah.
He gets fouled every time and fails to kick it out and just throws it up without looking and gets to the line and he hits one of two.
The only difference is
the way that goes.
Had somebody guarding the inbounder. That's the only difference between that and the Leitner play. So actually, I'll say Malachi Moreno's a little. Actually, the pass was a little bit tougher. So I think this play is probably a little bit more impressive than the Leitner play, if you ask me my honest opinion.
It also settles the debate of should Pitino have guarded the inbounder, the passer. It wouldn't have mattered. The shot goes in either way. Destiny was sealed.
For as much as I shit on Chandler's lob attempt earlier, I thought that pass was going to be a disaster like it is every time every team ever attempts a quarter longer pass. And it was right in Malachi's hands.
It was a dot. It was.
It was like a perfect Hail Mary right over to the defender's hands.
It was
beautiful quarterbacking.
He threw it to where only Malachi could catch it.
Did Malachi play wide receiver in high school?
You're thinking of Willie Cauley-Stein.
Did he? Willie played football, huh?
Rumors of that.
I thought. Are you thinking of Bam
Margera?
No, Bam Adebayo.
He was a skateboarder.
Oh, yeah.
Is
well
Bam
known
his
for
real
his
name,
jackass.
or does he have a cute story for why they call him that?
Why? Yeah, why? Probably didn't want to go by Idris.
You don't remember that every single game that Bam played, they talked about him turning over a coffee table as a child.
Oh yes, right, of course.
Trying to hit you with a lob there.
I'd forgotten about that.
Lily went over just about like Colin Chandler's.
DC, that guy's whatever that guy's name is, it's still pissing me. I'm just looking at this half comparison box score, and I'm just getting so pissed off. I'm wearing a Mark Pope signed jersey.
That doesn't make you qualified to second guess his first half decision making. I think DC Sports is not District of Columbia. I think it's Data Collector Sports. I think that's the guy that loves the data.
He probably created the app that they're using to make all these decisions.
Kentucky Nosaki. Oh, name Hall of Fame. Oh my God, Kentucky Nosaki. I'm going to ask you personally. Please like and subscribe and comment regularly because I'm going to keep wanting to say Kentucky Nosaki. That took my breath away. He said, thought Moreno was the worst guy to throw to. Damn, do I look dumb? I think all of us would have thought, heavens no, don't throw it to Malachi Moreno. So you can, join along with us. We're a dumb podcast, and we're underqualified to talk about a D1 coaching staff.
Now,
welcome to the club.
I understand he is probably the only one that can catch that ball, right? So I get that. Yeah,
I need to go back and rewatch it.
It's brutal, but I mean, sometimes God loves Kentucky basketball.
And he sure as hell didn't in the first half.
Yeah, he hated us.
It was like the story of Job. You got to go through the hard stuff, and then you get everything back.
You say that, I guarantee you there's something along those lines in the post-game press conference happening right now.
I guarantee it. At least he's not, going full Doomersville in this press conference. We can finally have a normal one.
Yeah.
I assume. I'm guessing.
Sad Mark Pope is the most annoying Mark Pope.
Emo Mark Pope.
It's bad. He doesn't play well.
Mr. Belair says the protracted opening often annoys me when I'm seeking basketball content. What I watched today was brilliant, clever, and sharply produced. Now it just sounds like I'm glazing myself. Maybe I'm juiced. The game was important. It was the pass. Hey, if you don't like the intros, you just don't like the show. Like, that's fine. The purpose of
Feel free to join us 2 minutes after it starts.
Yeah, a little inside baseball. The purpose of the intros is, since we are live streaming, we want to be airing a little bit to let people come into the stream. So that's the purpose of a long intro, and try to do a new one each stream, so you guys just aren't seeing the same.
Yeah,
opener
other
each
channels
week.
just put like a countdown from like 100.
Yeah,
but we give you director Jared's masterpieces.
I was going to say we is generous here.
Yeah, we as in we see the cutting floor a little bit, and
sometimes
Jared does all the work.
Back to it. Kentucky Nosaki, thank you so much. I forgot the game was on tonight. Didn't tune in until I heard my dad crashing out. Ran out just in time to see the game-winning shot. Wow.
So Kentucky did sucky until Kentucky Nosaki tuned in.
Maybe that's
true.
That's the key.
He's got to watch these games. He's the reason the first half sucks so bad all the time.
Yeah.
So
we
letting us know how the hot dog is made. I love our audience, man. This is sick.
I think we took, was that our first lead? Did we lead at the beginning at all? No. I think our first lead was at 71 points, 71 to 70, and a 75-74
It was Cam
final.
Slam. Phi Kama Slama. It was beautiful.
They weren't letting Cam play.
No, it was 69-68.
Nice.
Then they took it back and we went up.
They weren't letting Cam play much D tonight because they were calling touch fouls on my boy.
Yeah, they screwed Cam like bad.
All right, fellas. Anything else we want to cover? Do we want to pick player of the game for the Tennessee game? Do we want to talk a little bit?
Let's say for tonight. It's like, well, that's an easy one.
I will pick my player of the game. Hot take. Malachi Moreno.
I could see it.
I'll go. We're going to need a guard to go off. Give me Denzel.
Give me Owe's 5th straight 20-point game. And let's see, 7 out of 9, I think. I mean,
Owe has been on a heater. We need to probably call that out. But yeah, and also he is amazing at talking shit. If they're ever just like on him for some reason, very close shot, you see him quietly talking to whoever is, and they are getting mad. I don't know what he's saying. Probably the Instagram tag name of their girlfriend or something like that. But it works.
Probably.
And he doesn't look like he has any emotions at all when he's doing it. But it frustrates especially the younger guys that are on guarding him. And I think I love that.
Will he be guarding Nate Ament, or is that a size mismatch?
That will be my player of the game, Cam Williams.
Oh,
who I've been holding out on. Because I think, Nate hasn't been, all that he was hyped up to be. So I do like him guarding Cam. And I like it the other way around because I think Cam's size, length, and girth is enough to really present some problems for him.
Yeah. Nate is like very freakishly gifted athletically, but he doesn't have much of a dog in him. I don't think the SEC was the place to come show out.
So
he could have been a top 5 pick if he had went to Villanova or something.
All he's missing is a handle. If he had a handle, he he's going lottery this year. All right, fellas. Well, this was fun. we'll see everybody Saturday. It's a nooner, so we'll get it knocked out. See, so Ryan's new to the show.
We do say girth probably more than the average podcast.
It's an important part.
It is. When length is not there, you got to talk about girth.
Sometimes it's all you got.
When you're a long two, you gotta focus on the girth.
I bet Ben is thinking Chandler's pass was probably meant for someone else, fell short, and landed with the hero. I don't know though.
Damn, Ben, you got a hater.
And
I don't know. I
have my girth.
I do need to watch that again, though.
Yeah,
I do hope DC, that data collector science, whatever, is still watching, because I do wonder what he thinks now of the podcast.
Yeah, I know.
Now he's totally on board. He's like, hell yeah, they're talking
He's
girth.
like, oh, actually, they do get to criticize the D1 coaching staff.
We're talking girth. If he doesn't like that, people weren't here in episode 4 for us when we were talking pogs for playing a Wildcat game. We've come a long way. James is in here saying there was 0.1 seconds left on the clock when it left OA's hands. That was one of those where it really depended on what angle you were looking at, because they showed that first one and it looked pretty clear like it was out of his hands, and it could not have been possibly closer, because it looked like it was out of his hands with 0.1. And I agree with James here. And they showed the other one where it was significantly blurrier, but it looked like it was in his hands with it at 0.
Does the shot clock buzzer line up directly with the clock itself, or is it hand operated by somebody? Because I don't think it blew on Otga's.
I don't think there's any way it's hand operated.
It's so weird that they didn't
match up. Yeah, they did not match up.
Yeah. Rex is here saying it was the unofficial clock with the 0.1. See, that's how they get you. It's like the NFL with the first down line on the broadcast. It's unofficial. It said the light on the backboard was off. So I don't know. Now I'm getting more information and I'm more confused. This will be the talk of the evening. If we lost the game, it would be that call and the fact that Otga missed the free throw. And I'm not going to come down on Otga for missing the free throw, because it shouldn't have come down to that. I thought he played a good game, and I wasn't going to blame the loss on him. I was going to blame it on Mark Pope. But yeah, I'm not going to come down on him for missing a free throw. In fact, I think he was like 6 of 9 for the night. So I think he's around a 70% free throw shooter. So he was due for it.
He's like an 80% free throw shooter, and they talk about it every time. And he feels like he goes 50%.
Sure does.
Like 76% shooter.
He played 37 minutes tonight with the flu.
Damn. We got to give him serious flowers. What was I just saying? Oh, yeah. Got to give Otga his flowers. His shot looks way better. We gave him a lot, not us necessarily, but Kentucky fans in general shit on Otga a lot this season, blamed stuff on him. All he did was carry the team up until the free throw. I'm all the way back in on Otga now.
I will say the free throws that he definitely pushed off the first defender before getting fouled by the second guy. So it was a bit of a gift there as well. Browncoat fan says, I just don't know why he gets the last shot. He almost always misses it, unless it's against Oklahoma, and then that always goes in. I don't know who else we'd give it to. Because they were saying before, like, it's either got to go to Otga or Aberdeen. I certainly don't want Aberdeen shooting that shot. I don't
it's like, have y'all watched this at all?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Aberdeen was 5 for 6 in the second half. So maybe. But the thing is, I don't think we don't have a dribble driver on the team. I don't think that you can call the play for that to be the go-to action when we don't have that kind of talent. Malachi did a good job of clearing the big. but it was still like 2 guys that he had to go through. And he doesn't ever hit like an and one, like, ever.
Yeah, Malachi also he obviously he made the last shot, but he had a real potential to get a different game winner with the rebounds on the foul.
Oh yeah.
I do think we tried. We talked about how last time how different the offense looked. We were hitting backdoor cuts that we hadn't been hitting all year long, and we tried that all first half, and none of them worked. Stolen every time, bounced off somebody's. I mean, all of the coordination we had working great against Mississippi State did not work tonight, which was kind of discouraging. I felt like we'd found something there, and now I don't know.
Yeah, we did kick out nice tonight comparatively. I think that we could still do a better job. There were still times that I was yelling at the TV, but we did do a better job of that tonight. It didn't stick like it has been, so that's nice. But yeah, I don't know what that is. What is that? We just can't time those passes against certain teams.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, boys. Well, I think we covered this one about as good as we can. Someone said, "What about Yelovich? It seems to be breaking out a little bit." Well, he's finally getting some run.
Yeah,
That helps.
Also, I think we did spend the first 20 minutes probably talking a lot about Yelovich, and then we just haven't right now. But yeah, he needs to play a lot more. And the fact that he can hit threes, there's enough tape of him hitting threes at this point that he is very big and also still has to be guarded, which is exactly what we need. So,
And he's up 27%, slowly ticking up.
that's pretty good because he went like 0 for 8 that in
Right.
the first.
Well, and they didn't just go in today. I thought they looked good. They were quick. They splashed. Oh, thank you.
Now you got to love her.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining the Catican. Please like and subscribe. We're a small growing channel here, so we'll take all the love and attention and affection and DMs that we can. If you want to hang out with us, not on the show, and you wonder, hey, where do these guys get their sick ass ball knowledge from? We have the link to the Discord where we all hang out, called Cat's Corner. It does have actual reputable people in there that will give inside scoop, and it's a cool place to hang out. We're not getting paid for this. We do just think that it's a cool place, so we'd recommend hanging out with us in there. It's a community about 200 of us or so. But yeah, thank you for joining the Catican. And go Cats.
Go Cats.
Go Cats.
Go Cats.